Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to Daily Reflections with Chris. I'm Chris. And today is July the 16th. I always get nervous about how to start these videos because I pretty much sound the same all the time. But so today's July 16th. And for those of you who are new to my channel, my name's Chris and this is Daily Reflections with Chris. I started this channel a little over a year ago, mainly to share my experience, strength, and hope with you guys as it pertains to my recovery from alcoholism, right? And I always thought that I wanted to start a channel. It started way before the pandemic, probably about 2019. I was like, man, I want to start like a channel or a video, or how can I share my experience with the recovery world, right? With the recovery community. And I was like, man. So anyway, just sat there. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, I really started to watch a lot of YouTube. And I realized that some people were doing it. And I was like, man, and in recovery, especially in Alcoholics Anonymous, it's such an anonymous program that YouTube videos like this are kind of get like people turn their head away from it, right? They shun at it, right? And they'd be like, man, he's breaking his anonymity, and how dare he, and why is he putting it on his wall? And the answer is because the book says that I can break my anonymity, but it says that I cannot break your anonymity, right? And I cannot break my anonymity for the sake of manipulation or gain or nothing like that. That's where it kind of gets touchy. But I'm breaking my anonymity mostly to just try to help people. People who were hopeless like me when I first got here. People who don't know that there's a solution. People who are struggling to even work the program while they're in it, while they've got years. If they're anything like me, man, at 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, I was miserable in this program, so miserable that I finally convinced myself, or I finally just gave myself the luxury of going to try it out again, go and do the research and go try drinking again and see if maybe I wasn't an alcoholic, right? And I went out there and I drank, and man, sure, it's true, I'm an alcoholic. Something happens in me that doesn't happen to the normal drinker. Once I start drinking, I cannot stop drinking. Once I put that drink, see what happens is, like, if I could just drink one, I would probably be fine, right? But I drink one, I'm not even done drinking the first one. I'm already thinking about the second one, right? Once I drink the second one, all bets are off, because that's where I lose control after the second one. Because after the second one, well, after the first one, obviously I couldn't stop. I had to have the second one. And after the second one, it was like, after the second one, usually I started introducing liquor, because I didn't really like the taste of beer. I was a hardcore liquor drinker, right? So I would introduce the liquor, right? And I could probably do that a couple of days, and then a couple of days more, then I'd want some drugs. Because the truth is, alcohol, while it numbed the pain, it didn't take away the void. It numbed the pain of not having this, or comparing myself to other people, or feeling bad about certain things, remorse, regret, anger, right? All those issues, it would kind of just quiet it down enough so I didn't have to deal with it. But it never really went away, and as long as I was out there drinking and drugging, I never really got to a solution. So coming into the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, not because I wanted to, right? The law sent me here. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, one day I woke up and said, hey, I need to go to Alcoholics Anonymous to save my life. No, that wasn't me. I was a person who got sent here on paper. But after being there for a while, I was like, man, I don't know what it is, but I hear something. I don't know what it is, but there's something in this room. There's something about this program that I find myself attracted. There's some energy here that I want to be a part of. And the longer I stayed, the more I wanted to come. So So after a while, I just stayed, and this time, after going out and drinking again after 12 years and really just thinking that I was just better off dead, it really put me like in a different, sorry, I have dogs. It put me in a different mindset. It kind of put me in a space where like I was desperate again. I was willing to do whatever it took again. So now I got almost 6 years, right? I'm over 5 now, but I'm so great. I am grateful, and maybe for those of you who have been in these rooms and somebody changes or somebody goes through something and they're like, but this time is different, babe. But this time, man, I don't like saying that because I feel like it's almost like after, but this time I'm gonna tell you something that I think that I've changed, but I haven't really changed it, right? What I did different was that I challenged myself to give this program 110%. And even when I thought I gave 110%, I'd give a little bit more. And to people on the outside looking in, they probably saw me and were like thinking I was only giving 20 or 30 or 40, but within me, I know what I'm giving. I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm giving more than what I claim to have. I'm giving more than what I want to give right now because I really want to be asleep, or I really want to be drinking, or I really want to be out with that person. I really want to be doing something else, right? And I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about like in other occasions, right? When I was working the program of recovery, a 12-step program of recovery, as it is written, and with the help of another human being, a sponsor, right, or a closed-mouth friend, taking the suggestions, doing what he asked me to do, even when I didn't want to do. That's what I'm talking about. When he asked me to do something and I would rather be over here or over there, or not doing it at all, that's when I felt like I was giving it 110%, because it was not of me. It was not of my own strength. And even though I wanted to stay sober, some of the stuff he was asking me to do was hard for me to do because it was going against everything that I had done until that day. In other words, I hadn't done that before. That was new to me. What? Go do it? No, what? Okay. And I would say yes, and I would kind of do it. And sometimes I would do it half-assed. I'd be like, Chris, you want to half-ass sobriety? You want to half-ass sobriety? I mean, keep doing it half-assed, but tell me how it goes, right? And some people would say in other worlds, like in the Bible world or Christian world or church world, it would say that that I wanted a full-time God, right? With a part-time, something like that. Man, I had it in my head and I forgot it already. And that's what this program tells me, that half measures avail me nothing. Even though they'll say, "Oh, you want a half-ass program? Then do a half-ass job." No, this program, no. In the book, it tells me that I get nothing. That for me to get what it promises me, what this big book promises, what the literature promises me, what this program promises, I must do what is suggested, right? So coming in this time, doing that 110% as much as I could, even when I didn't want to just do more, even when I didn't want to just write more, even when I didn't want to put another person on the force of me, no. Even though when I didn't want to put another person on that 8-step list, even when I didn't want to go out there and help another newcomer, even when I didn't want to. Because that was my challenge for myself. Because at the end of the challenge, what I would tell myself is like, Chris, okay, I'm gonna go do this 110%, even when I don't want to, even when I don't think I can. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do 100%. And if I'm go all through the 12 steps, after 12 steps, if I still want to go drink, I'm gonna go drink. And then I'm gonna say, well, this program works for you guys, but it doesn't work for me. Let me go find something else. I don't know what, I don't know where, but I'm gonna go find something that works, right? So that's the kind of like challenge that I gave myself. Sorry, my hair's getting long. My hair's getting long. So that's the challenge that I gave myself, to do that. And I'm still here. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's a healthy fear of getting drunk and screwing up my life up again. When I'm working so hard to rebuild it, I feel like, I'm not working as hard as, working hard is kind of like one of those things. You're like, well, man, you shouldn't have to work so hard. It should just come easy. Yeah, it does come easy, but when you're used to doing nothing, a little bit of work feels like working hard, right? Anyway, that'll probably be a good topic for another message of, how we view the things we tell ourselves. That's big in this program. How we view ourselves. What are we still telling ourselves? What are we still making excuses for? Not being able to succeed, not being able to be in successful relationships, not being able to do the things that we want. When this program offers us the exact opposite. No, now you're free to do whatever you want. Now you're free to make the decision. If you want to go drink, we don't recommend it, but go ahead. But if you want to go get that job, if you want to go move up in your career, if you want to go make that money, if you want to go have that relationship, healthy relationship, good stuff, stuff that's good for us, then run after it, man. Do what you gotta do. Let's go. This is what this program, just like I was willing to do whatever it took to work for my recovery in alcoholism, I should be able to be willing to do some of that stuff for a good relationship. Be willing to do some of that stuff for, good family life, good sense of well-being, healthy, and being healthy emotionally, spiritually, and physically. That's all the good stuff that this program says we can have, right? And the truth is, we always could have it, but this program teaches me how to get it and how to keep it. So anyway, with that introduction, let's talk about what's in the book for today. Today is July 16th. It says the title is called A Measure of Humility. In every case, pain had been the price of admission into a new life. But this admission price had purchased more than we expected. It brought a measure of humility, which we soon discovered to be a healer of pain. And that's from the 12 and 12, page 75. It was painful to give up trying to control my life. Even though success eluded me, and when life got too rough, I drank to escape. Accepting life on life's terms will be mastered through the humility I experience when I turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand Him. With my life in God's care, fear, uncertainty, and anger are no longer my response to those portions of life that I would rather not have happen to me. The pain of living through these times will be healed by the knowledge that I have received the spiritual strength to survive. So we are in July, which is the 7th month. And the 7th month is all about the 7th step, 7 traditions, 7th concepts, stuff like that, because it's the 7th month. And for those of you who have been on here with me for a while, know that the 7th step is my favorite. It's all about humility, right? And the 7th step says, humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings, right? But also in the literature, in this book called The 12 and 12, which, let me grab it, I have it right here. It's this book right here. It's like let me see what they call it. Well, they don't give it any really, they don't really give it anything. It's not like, it's kind of like I hate to call it a workbook, but it's kind of like that. But they don't give it that name. They say, a co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous tells how members recover and how the society functions Bill W. wrote this one. Okay, so what we're talking about. Okay, so step 7 is all about humility. And what this book also explains to us, and Bill W. wrote this book, as I understood, that Bill W. wrote this 12 and 12 when he was sponsoring people, right? As he was as he was helping them get through their steps, as he was helping them get through their issues. And a lot of the times he makes some really, really good points and suggestions. A lot. I mean, I love that book, not more than the big book, but it's right up there. And what he gets is that out of all the people that he was sponsoring when he was writing this book, it was just not after like one person. It was he sponsored a bunch of people, and he realized that we as alcoholics or the alcoholics that he was working with, have a lot of excuses for not doing the work, a lot of excuses for not going there, a lot of ideas of why they shouldn't do what they should have been doing this whole time, right? Practicing humility. Well, one thing, I never knew what that word meant, what it looked like to practice it, who was doing it, who wasn't. I mean, like, it just wasn't in my vocabulary until I came into Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, another word called humiliation, that was, right? When people would tell me, man, you humiliated me. I'll be like, I would say, I don't really know. I probably embarrassed them to such a degree that they used the big word like humiliation. I mean, I really was just that not, even though I was really smart in school, my math was good. I was the best at math, and anything mechanics, but my vocabulary was rough, man. It still is, but I'm learning. So, I didn't really know much about that word or what it meant. Well, I don't have a dictionary, and I'm using my phone to record, but humility and humiliation are two different things. If I had to describe it to somebody without looking it up, I would say something like, I think humility is like meekness under control. It's like not thinking really high of yourself, not thinking really low of yourself, thinking, and not thinking high or low of anybody else around me, right? Just kind of be on an even plane with everybody around, treating everybody the same. I think it's more of act of not feeling like I'm too good or not good enough, right? Which is reverse humility, and it talks about that too. And humiliation is more like such an embarrassment that it's hard for somebody else or myself to. If I humiliate myself, it's hard for me to show my face because I totally embarrass myself and embarrass those around me. I did something probably that people would laugh at if they heard or saw or whatever. So that's how I could explain it, I guess. Not that I did a great job, but if I had to without a dictionary, right, from what I've learned from my experience. But right here it says that in every case, pain had been the price of admission to a new life. It brought a measure of humility, which we soon discovered to be a healer of pain. So, in this book, this 12 and 12 on step 7, which is all about humility, it asks the question, why do we have to go through so much pain before we're willing to be different? Why does it have to hurt so much? Why do you have to lose everything before you decide that you want to be different? It says we're that class of people, we're that type of people that the only way we're going to change is until it hurts so bad, that it hurts so much, that we continue to say, it's not that bad. Man, if you ever hear an alcoholic say it's not that bad, it's bad. It's bad already. Because our thinking is just enough distorted that we see something and we say, we're going to be, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Get over it. It'll get fixed. Don't worry about it. It's not that bad. And while the alcoholic is saying that, the wife and the kids are like freaking out. Right? The wife and the kids are freaking out. And an alcoholic who's not in recovery, or somebody who has a drug problem and not in recovery, they're gonna go drink or drug. They're not gonna look for a solution. Because that is their solution. That eases the pain. That gets their mind into something else so that they don't have to think about the house burning down. They don't have to think about the wife leaving. They don't have to think about the children growing up promiscuous and doing all these things. They don't have to think about stuff that's important. So let me go drink. I'll be right back. And when I get back, we'll work it out. And guess what? That person never comes back. And if he does come back, he comes back tomorrow, next week, 10 hours from now, next month. Why? Because he's in a binge already. He's out there. That money that he's barely making it with, he's going to go spend it on. She's going to go spend it on drugs and alcohol and whatever else. So in step 7, it says, why for us it has to get that bad? We're not normal, folks. I'm not normal. Do I have a sense of normalcy or normality or whatever you say? Does it feel more normal today than it has in the past? Yeah. Because of reading this book over and over, reminding me, Chris, listen, pay attention. I'm telling you something. I'm asking you something. Why does it have to hurt so much before you decide you want to be different? I don't know. Maybe because I think it's not that bad. Folks, I have lost good relationships. I have lost good jobs. I have lost, and I say lost because they were lost. I can't get them back. I could be different today if I want. But sometimes the loss of those relationships cause me so much pain. The loss of that job causes me to be, a little discombobulated in my finances. Man, there's so much that happens to me when I say it's not that bad. Today, will I ever be perfectly humble? No, that's crazy. I don't know if anybody is, right? Besides God. Sorry. Will I ever be perfectly humble? No. But now, because of this program, I can recognize, whoa, hold on. As soon as I still tell myself it's not that bad, but as soon as I tell myself it's not that bad, it's like, whoa, let's see what's going on here. What is it that you think is not that bad? An eviction letter? Yeah, it's bad, Chris. You either need to go find a job that pays you more money to help you support yourself, or you gotta learn how to administer your finances, right? It's bad. You see a couple of fleas on your dog and you say it's not that bad? Oh, it's bad. And it's not that bad. It's going to get bad. Get up, wash that dog, put on some flea medicine on him or her. Right, let's go. As soon as I tell myself it's not that bad, oh, it's bad. If I tell myself, oh, that lie wasn't that bad. No, it's bad. If you're lying, you're trying to justify a lie, it's bad. It's already bad. The fact that I had to lie is bad. I tell myself, oh, maybe I'm gaining a lot of weight. I'm saying, oh, man, it's not that bad. Next month. Before you know it, now I'm 50 years old, 100 pounds overweight. Folks, it's bad. It's bad. Something needs to be done, right? So, if I can stop myself at it's not that bad, or whatever excuse you may be. I'll get to it. It's gonna be okay. And the thing is, you will get to it, and it is gonna be okay, and it probably isn't that bad. While it's the words that we say, it's also the energy behind it, the mindset behind it. What are we thinking? Are we being arrogant? Are we being cocky? Are we being over exaggerated? Are we being blind? Are we not willing to face reality? Something that needs to be worked on, that needs to be fixed. Are we not willing to look at it for what it is and work either towards a solution to it, or change something, or do something different? I don't know. Every situation is different, but for me to look at it and not do nothing about it, I agree. Those of you who practice law of attraction, they might say, well, we're not supposed to do nothing about it. We are supposed to take a nap. We are supposed to chill. We are supposed to get our mind off it. Because that's what you do to stop blocking it. It also says to connect, to meditate. That's in our literature. If you're stuck and you think it's not that bad, and you think that you should be doing something else besides working on something that's about to break down, I agree. Don't do nothing about it right now. Pray about it. Meditate. Meditate. Get your direct contact with God. Just tap in for a few minutes, 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be that long. Tap in. Get a clear mind. Refocus. Restart. And get going. And then it doesn't feel like work. Then it doesn't feel that hard. Then it's true. You'll realize it's not that bad. But now the energy behind it is different. It's like, okay, it feels more doable. I think, okay, it feels like something I can handle. Okay. See, the attitude changes when we practice these suggested steps, right? To even the 7-step has a 7-step prayer. This program continues to ask me to pray and pray and pray and meditate and meditate. Why? Because I'm going to pray my petition. I'm asking something. And meditation, I'm tapping in, and I'm tapping into the source. I'm not asking you for nothing. I just want to tap in. I just want to see you. I just want to hear. I just want to see you. I just want to be in your presence. I just want to be quiet. Spiritual checkout for 5 or 10, 15 minutes a day. My mom didn't teach me that. They didn't teach me that in high school. They didn't teach me that in college. They taught me that in this program. And when I come back, it's going to be not that bad. It's going to be like, okay, let's go. Let's go find a solution. Let's go work. Let's go figure it out. Let me go find my girl. Let me, if my relationship's up and mixed up in something, confusion, miscommunication, whatever, let me go analyze it different, with a different mindset. Let me get my feelings out there. Let me find some truth. What's going? Is it working? Let's go. But I can't do that when I'm worried, when I'm angry, when I'm lying, when I'm dishonest, when I'm cooking the books, when I'm just drinking, drugging. That never fixed anything for me. And in the end, I was drinking to stay in a blackout, drinking to stay obliterated, drinking to never ever have to think about my life again. And at the same time, wondering What happened? Did God forget about me? Because how is everybody else getting ahead and I'm not? And if you would have asked me back then if I would have thought it was because of my drinking, I would have said no. No, it's not my drinking. Because it was so normal in my life. It was so much normalized. Because I saw other people drinking after work, after their $100,000 jobs, a year jobs. I saw people drinking on vacations. I saw people, drinking with their family at parties. I saw people drinking. I said, it can't be my drinking. But what I didn't realize is the way they drink and the way that I drink is totally different. And this program really helped me to open my eyes and see that. So folks, if you're out there, I'm not saying drinking is your problem. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you find yourself wondering, then maybe it's time to do a little checklist. Analyze yourself. What happens to you when you drink? Can you drink just one and leave and have a good time and be okay with it? Do you become somebody different when you drink? Do you miss work regularly because you're hungover? Do you leave Friday and not come back till Sunday? Do you use your money for drinking instead of for the bills? If you're in a relationship, do you give your wife money? Do your kids have food and clothes? And if you're sitting in a bar watching this video, this probably message is for you. If you're drunk right now watching this video, this message is probably for you. Folks, it is that bad. But there is a solution. There is a solution. For me, it was an Alcoholics Anonymous. If you think it might be for you, get to a meeting. Just look it up. AA in your phone. AA, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, Puerto Rico, Mexico, wherever you are. Just look it up. You'll find something. If there's still phone books, look it up. It's A. It's probably the first one there. Alcoholics Anonymous. 2 A's. It's probably the first one in your phone book. And any of those meetings, they practice anonymity. I'm not going to go and tell everybody your story. I get on here and tell my own story. You make a phone call, the people on the other line are there for that reason, to lead you to a meeting, to lead you to a group, to get you a ride there, to help you get to a place where you can be helped and where you can help yourself. Maybe you don't want Alcoholics Anonymous. Maybe you want to try a church group. Try a church group. Maybe you want to try therapy. Try therapy. Maybe you want to go on a 30-day retreat, silent retreat. Go do it. Try something. But just sitting at a bar drinking, just sitting in your house drinking, just out with your friends and thinking about how you're going to get drunk with your family, wanting to leave already so you can go get drunk. That's you. This message is for you, man. It is bad. It's that bad already. So folks, if maybe you've already got some recovery, maybe you've already part of a church group, maybe you feel stuck in your program, maybe you feel stuck in your recovery, maybe you feel stuck in at church. Maybe you're a pastor listening to this. I don't know. I get it. Even with some time under my belt, even with some scripture, even with some therapy, I get stuck sometimes too. I would hardly be human if I didn't, right? If I didn't get stuck. But the solution is the same. Prayer, meditation. Don't pick up the drug. Don't watch that video. Don't go and eat Don't go and sit at the buffet all day. Find you some help. Get yourself around some like-minded people who can help you, or who can just talk with you, or just hang out with you. You know, it doesn't. Every conversation doesn't have to feel like a therapy talk. We could talk about other things. I love talking about other things. We talk about sports. We talk about music. We talk about campsites and adventures we've had. We talk about our family. We talk about goals, school. There's other things to talk about than just recovery or stuff like that. But for us, it is important that we touch on these subjects daily. We touch on these subjects when needed. We touch on these subjects when we're feeling down and out. We touch on these subjects when we can help somebody. We touch on these subjects to be a part of. I mean, we have the biggest gift. And I can't quote him correctly, but he said, you know, our past is our greatest asset, that nobody can help another suffering alcoholic like we can. Wow, what a gift, right? So folks, if you're stuck, don't get stuck. Unstuck yourself. If you're feeling a lack of humility, we'll get you some. It's free. If you like this video, like it, share it, subscribe to my channel. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye, folks. Oh, and have a wonderful, 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 wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye.